So let me tell you, this is a team that's prolific in our sport. But here we go. Agent Select coming in. Let's see what we end up getting here, team.
No surprises on the side of Sentinels, right? This is this is what they were playing the other day. Second, playing on that Omen, no duelist on that side. My question really is what Fnatic is going to do. We see some hovers here, and even though we did see the Sage, it was not in Chronicle's arms. I don't know if they're going to lock this Agents, Mimi.
Yeah, it could be a little change up. I do hope to see Fnatic stay with some variant of the Sage comp. Is HyperX does lock in the Jet there, so the one duelist in the server will be the newest player to Tier 1 Valorant.
A lot of pressure on that young man, but he has a big opportunity here to send a fan-favorite squad home, and we're waiting for the final two lock-ins. We'll see what happens.
Last hope of Europe here for Fnatic. Sentinels, if they win today, they get their third match this year against G2. Lost to them both times in both America's finals.
We need the man just scream, well, not this one, of course this one for the side of Fnatic, but Narrate has been having such a good series for Sentinels. With him on the get-go on this attack, he could be the difference maker. And with seconds to go, Chronicle is going to be the one locking in the Sage. Okay.
So it's a slight change, but still, it's going to play pretty much the same as what we've seen from Fnatic in the past. You're right about that switch up, but I think this comp is still strong. Solo Silva is fine on this map. Enable Kayak to go crazy on that Jet and have a slight wrinkle in your plan for Sen.
All right, Toronto, let's get some hype going. I want your hands together. Let's do this. Let's clap, clap. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Map 3 starting right now. Fnatic, Sentinels, HyperX, Pansy, over to you.
Yeah, we got you for this one. Don't worry. It comes down to the third, as it should, Mike. NA against EU, one of those first ever times we got to see high-tier Valorant between Sen and Fnatic all those years back. Now we're here. Only one can survive. Only one gets to carry on. Who's got this?
I mean, it's just so fitting with the weight of an entire region riding on Fnatic's shoulders here.
Yeah.
We go to Icebox. Sentinels back in right on the Gecko. And again, the adjustment here coming out of the Tejo meta to now have Chronicle on the Sage. Again, not necessarily a concern, but certainly here the switch up. Really a comp to catch Sentinels off guard. It's a return really to old school Icebox in that regard. Yeah, all eyes towards Kayak to hopefully put something in motion here for Fnatic on the decider.
I'm glad the Des mentioned it as well. Narrate, the man on the screen, he has been influential to Sentinel's success. And respect given so far by Boaster. Doesn't want to stick around too close and give up too much. But this is an all-in, Mike. This is every player from Sen over this side.
That will come through. Oh, actually, Alpha finding one ahead of time. John QT will fall. Narrate will respond.
Okay, Alpha does have the Sheriff and so does Kayak. So these are two big hitters. Same to be said for Zelsis, though. 2 players towards back yellow, 2 towards B long. How are they going to cross up to this one? Narrate still got Dizzy to invest if the contact comes in. Bang, waiting to swing on yellow. Now joined again towards long on this for the other 3. Shock Dart not going to be all that much of an issue. Paranoia gets burned, and that is a lovely flash as well. Nice from Sen so far. It's only Alpha to be drawing blood. Oh my god, Alpha. He tried it. He gave it a go. But Sentinel standing strong here in map 3.
Convincing pistol round here. Said, respect shown from Boaster, allowing conceding all that space. Allowing the free plant to come through. Faith in the retake. Actually, a beautiful opening here from Alpha. From downrange.
And I'm going to keep my eyes on this throughout this game, at least on this half. If Sen keep getting into post plants, right, if they get that, there's so much util to lay on, you need Chron alive. You need that wall still in play, right? And he was one of the first.
He's the safety for that defuse, for sure.
Well, I have to wait and see. For now, not really a big factor in this sort of round. You're looking at Sentinels keeping this clean here. Going to keep those Bulldogs up. That's 3 of them there. The Stinger could be lost potentially, as could that Sheriff, but those Bulldogs are prized possessions, and Narrate allowing them to scale up off the back of the utility. But there's a lot of bodies now on this side of the map, Mike.
We're looking for something cheeky. Rinse and repeat here for Sentinels. Boaster already very low, actually, in the X-ray.
Supposed to slip pretty deep in this, and Alpha's found a shot on Narrate. It's not over. Smoke's still in hand. Viper Util on top, gonna slow this down, and Bang getting curious. Catches Boast, it clears it out. This is good. This is really good. Sen not feeling any of that pressure, apart from Alpha, who is firing here, by the way. Apparently that Ascent map gets him confident.
Absolute monster on Icebox.
But these are the 3 valuable weapons. They can't afford to lose these.
He's going to be given a chance here. John QT's still curious, but
Gun here.
I don't think he will yet. Won't catch sight of anybody on the retreat. Will fall to the spike, and Sentinels go 2-0 up to kick things off here on the decider. Implanting the seeds here towards B. Early on, important to show presence on this side of the map.
Something else I'm noting is the fact that Narrate's got that ult so early on.
Yeah, very early on.
Huge for the bonus, right? If they want to try and employ that now, potentially, that could snowball this entire map, or at least this half. I wonder if they try and indicate a similar approach. This time around, you do have Kayak here, though. It's only been Boaster really soloing this so far.
He's on an Odin. Let's try and hold down the fort here at B main. Kayak catches a glimpse, but doesn't want to reveal himself just yet. Certainly unorthodox here, and you mentioned it. Here's the ultimate to hopefully pave the way for Sentinels, but very quickly handled.
Yeah, not bad at all, actually. So Fnatic gets to kind of backpedal away, sit towards backside, allow for the rotations to come in. So a good stall out here between the Odin and Kayak's presence. And dealing with that ult, yes, it could be picked up. It's done well, and it has been. Back into hand now, it looks like. Kayak still waiting, could potentially do some damage if they go for a plant here. You can see that come in, and it is down, but Alpha strides in again, this time bigger weaponry. 2 tucked on site though, and that's a surprise. Kayak falls, and Sen still holding a lot of ground here. No trades at all. It's really only been Alpha drawing blood. Where's the rest of Fnatic in this? They got to do something to clear these 2 players off site. No flashes, and Bang, unwilling to be moved, and they don't know about John QT down here. Oh, it's stunning from Sentinels. A perfect play in the bonus round.
Huge conversion for them. Not sure if Narrate did manage to find an upgrade there, but regardless, they have a massive advantage coming into round 4. Any real positives so far? I mean, Kayak almost caught completely off guard by no idea of anybody tucking themselves into sight here. QT snappy on those 2 kills. As I was saying, the only real positives here, Chronicle and Alpha. Good progress towards their ultimates, but in this round, you only really pin things on a Bladestorm potentially, but it's just not there.
No, and again, you can see that the momentum fully swinging towards Sen's favor. But I like this walk coming out from Fnatic. Herding Sen closer, but there's not much to deny them over on that A site. Oh, Kron. Okay, catching John QT. This does split them up a bit, makes it a little bit trickier.
Go get him, buddy.
But still, it is only pistols. Sheriffs, yes. And they are heading towards that A site. Crashies. Potentially Alpha do damage here. Alpha's position now going to be known. Cross to be made. Nice shot on the first, but Crashies gets cleared at the same time, Mike. This is looking pretty comfortable. But that back line, if they wanted the traditional post plant, won't be able to be had.
Safe plant, though. We'll see awareness of the threat here. Rifle in the hands of Kayak, though. It's going to be mitigated by Sen's positioning. And really banged. Whew. Weapon model actually covering it, but Kayak gets a second shot at it and converts.
Okay, paranoia with Zekken has to be big here, but no real ability to swing off it, and Zeltis has to go clutch. A 1v2 and Kayak on the case.
Yep.
Kron, he's already invested that wall. Yeah, Zeltis knows it now. That time is not on his side. He can't do a thing about it. Fnatic with a Mastercard thrifty, catching up Sentinels. Yeah, Zeltis still clearing up, but the round is Fnatic's.
Sentinel's early work here to try and draw an extra body across the map here, maybe open up a site a little easier. Get everything right on the way in, but just can't stick the landing here.
Thrifty.
And the wall deciding things for Fnatic. Talking about that early progress, Alpha and Chronicle bring theirs into round 5. And the other thing Fnatic bring is an operator for Kayak. It's 1 and 4. Be something
line though.
I don't know anybody's actually going to be expecting this. The awareness there.
I do like this.
I mean, the smoke definitely shows awareness.
Feels like it, right? But how do they path up to this again? All these audio cues, man. He's got to be chomping at the bit. Oh, that's
would have been given a shot there.
It does get to a bit of a 50-50 here. He knows he's in danger, and yeah, right timing to back away, doesn't get punished. Making Sentinels burn a little bit more of that utility to scale up. Has to force himself on a deeper line now.
Zelsa's still trying to backstab something on A site as well, but keep our eyes on the action here.
That's brave.
Actually, just dealing with the utility has drawn the rotation. Look at the minimap. Boaster hangs about in Snowman, but it's drawn a massive rotation out.
Yeah, the fact that Boaster was able to get kind of back up towards yellow and felt no pressure, really. Check in behind that wall, gives them a bit more freedom. They have to almost reset. Yeah, they can try and re-approach this like a fake, but Boaster can still check behind it. He knows there's no one here. He can keep his players close towards this A site.
Placing swarm grenade.
There's that lockdown, lovely timing. Look at this, 16 seconds.
The clock, yeah.
They've got to make a move on it, and Kayak watching, perfectly poised above for 10 seconds. There's not much to be done. Lockdown does go down, and the plant is in. SEN just about salvaging this round. As the ball players close by from Fnatic now flood back in, make it 5, great flash. John on the swing. Kayak still firing though, down to 3 for Sentinels. Oh, but John QT, unwilling to move from the site, resilient till the end. Rez comes, oh, John, doing it perfectly from the site itself. Now second in the rate, gonna try and hold on to this. Kayak barely alive, goes down. Grant falls, that's the defuse gone. Just on crashes. 1v1. Time is ticking. The rate just has to play to the tune of the clock. I think it's too far gone, surely. Again, similar scenes to before. Sentinels in the final seconds, holding on.
Ice cold again from the rate to run down the clock here. Fnatic beginning to sweat a little bit. Big investment for the lockdown. The res comes through as well. Some tools they'd worked towards early on, but John QT just running rings around Fnatic here. In the wall going up, but providing no safety whatsoever.
Let's go, Marshall!
Will force an early timeout here from Fnatic once more. Forced to reconsider their approach potentially. Now back down on just pistols. This time around, Blade Storm in hand, though. Something to offset that slightly. Got the Hunter's Fury as well, but Sentinels off to a flying start here on their attacking side of Icebox.
And we haven't seen John QT have this level of impact in the previous maps. He's been quiet. He's been doing his job. He leads.
Again, a thankless task to be on this role.
It certainly is. But to see him getting that fire going now is huge for them. That could be a big difference maker here. Again, got to see someone pick that up, and he absolutely has. And overall, the read's been right from Sentinels. This has caused this timeout from Fnatic. They need bigger planned solutions. That pressure early on B has been hard to get reads behind. I liked what Boaster did there to check behind it. Then almost second guessing of maybe Narrate's utility coming back in. It's been a lovely game.
They're almost anticipating that that's the plant coming through. You could see still questioning that. So crucial work from Boaster, but unfortunately coming apart at the seams in the final few seconds of that round. People here of the orb. Blade Storm pop, but negated early on in the round.
There's 3 players pinged on the knife too, so big info, even in a round like this. You can see the instantaneous rotate from Kayak, maybe trying to offset the expectations after being identified early on the knife. But Sentinels still going to be taking their pathing towards this A side of the map. Alpha taking a glance down middle, seeing no one on the cross, and it is going to be this A side here. Sentinels now, they can scale up well, keep it clean. Crashies does have the Sheriff, but Chronicle's already been cleared. Easy work for them on the site. The plant next on the cards. This is, as said, concise work. Zelsis could be in a bother. There's Kayak now coming around. Contact swing, it's nice. Good synergy between the two players there. Bang next potentially in line. Does have the help from Zekin if required. Oh! No help needed apparently on that one for Kayak. That's all his. Where's that counterbalance of the pressure from CT? There it is! Crashies catching John QT. Now Zekin and Narrate split in this, trying to fight it forward. Narrate finds a corner to play from a Kayak, delivering death. Beautiful from Fnatic against the odds again.
As a Blade Storm to carve out this round.
Thrifty.
The Mastercard Thrifty converted here. Fnatic find their second. Strip away any of that comfort Sentinels were trying to establish. Actually humbling the economy. The bait and switch perfect between Alpha and Kayak, and he continues further, finds 3 on the round.
Remaining.
Massive value in a Thrifty.
Come on! What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
Nice!
A bit more energy on stage as well.
They need
Much
that too.
needed in the decider.
Don't want to see him go quiet now. Again, Sen, hometown favorites pretty much at this point, right? Regional on their side, but actually Crashy's blind connection gets to Narrate. That's a huge scalp to claim. And straight through him, he tries to dash. Boaster body blocking him out on towards Zekin as well. This is getting rough around the edges. Sen not having the same sort of success on the starts this time.
Make it very difficult to recover anything here. John QT down to 20 HP. A Stinger and 2 Sheriffs. Sentinels to pin their hopes to here in round 7. They want to do what Fnatic just did. The layering of util. The part coming through just yet, so.
Kind of difficult now, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say that information could be key to Sentinels, but still. Kayak, eyes trained. Methodical just on guard as well, on the front line.
Like, not going to go deep enough to dissuade Kayak, but feels very indicative still of this pathing towards the B site, right?
30 seconds
Kron
left.
getting curious. Spots out one, there's more. And yeah, he's farming them up now. Fnatic keeping 5 standing. A valuable timeout for them just had a moment ago, getting them back on the same page.
The connection here, off rip with the Hunter's Fury. Not sure if it was the snake bite or actually the ball, yeah, the snake bite comes through.
Oh,
Again,
love
Lorraine
it.
just squishy as anything.
Enemy spotted B.
Seconds left.
Away, and again, it's a risk-free approach to an anti-eco, effectively. Sure, you could argue it's a big ultimate to draw out, but for round conversions here for Fnatic to keep within touching distance here of Sentinels, who call a timeout themselves.
And again, if you're looking at Sen here, they do have 4 ults all to play. So if they have maybe something they want to run here, a set play in mind with these ults, Mike, they could certainly do it, but also they need that ethos check-in, right? Maybe a little bit of a change up here.
Potentially here, something with the lockdown, with the Hunter's Fury being used on the anti-eco, so
Very true.
After this, there's no turning back.
maybe look towards a set piece. Obviously, A, the easier one in that regard, but plenty of tools. Obviously, the age-old lockdown into a pit. Now, actually, the operator. Curious to see how Kayak does approach some of these areas. He's back on the board, struggled early on, but certainly with the 3K on the Blade Storm, he'll be feeling himself.
Also good to get that momentum building back for themselves too. There's a drought of rounds, right? That conversion, when you're looking at the bonus, can really knock you for 6. That can take that confidence out of you straight away. And Sen would have been grinning about that one. They were up out of their chairs early. You saw it very quickly how much impact Narrate was having. John QT doing really well. Now Fnatic showing signs of life. 3-4. Timeout called from Sen. But plenty of cards to play now.
Might even be a mid-piece here, with 3 players stacked up onto this barrier. Not necessarily seen any presence shown just yet, and Zekin not necessarily struggling, but a slow start here on Icebox on the Omen. Just with the turret early on, so just forcing the adjustment. Can't sit back on that util. Will draw the eyes of both Boaster and Alpha. Kayak tucked in with the operator here.
Maybe a nicer line to work off if that Dizzy is coming in. He can at least kind of duck into a bit of cover, maybe not give away the position.
Almost, with this setup, anticipating the lockdown to be used. Right, actually gets a tag on a second floor, second down to 3 HP.
That was almost 2. Oh, big catch there as well, though. Can anyone save him? No one's nearby. Oh my good God, if someone hunts this. They're not close enough to catch him. Respect having to be given by the lockdown layers. So a reset here, but a man to the good for Fnatic. The post plant strong, though. Zeken's HP is a factor. Only on 3 at this point. But they're playing on site here. They're not backing away.
We can see this space, obviously, with the wall being a factor in the retake. Straight off of util, and actually no progress made for Boaster. He finds second.
That's part of the front line gone. You're now looking at John QT. You're looking at Narrate to pick up that next layer of slack here. Narrate going to fall back towards Maze. John QT not clean enough to get it instantly without a trade. Crash is taken away. Narrate! And Zel's is brought to the knees. Crashies doing so well there. And Fnatic pulling off the retake. They want the crowd up on their feet too. Boaster putting it on a show, as are Fnatic now.
See his bang falling as well. Removes the pit from the table. It's rough as well, because Zeken, I think this snakebite lands and he just has to eat it. Yeah. Down so low because that operator tag. Crashes. Beautiful cleanup from him. All tied up now, 4 apiece.
That feels good after a timeout too. That was meant to be tailor-made, right? That was the best plan coming in. Maybe called by Kaplan, maybe more of a conversation from John QT, but it was that conversation, and here's a switch up.
As soon as Sentinels show presence on mid now, Fnatic actively looking to counterbalance that.
Here.
Show their faces and plant their flag. And actually post back on a very deep angle behind this A site. Set up here from Sentinels.
Sen still have, okay, they still got the Viper's pin on Bang, they still got Zeken as well on that TP, but Crashy, big info here. And at the same time, Alpha strikes, brilliant combination, but an answer back. There it is, John QT starting to fire up too. Frontline hero, John QT for Kayak.
Spike
You're
down
not gonna
A.
do this, are you? A 1v3? A 1v3 Kayak, really? Oh, you can't say he didn't try, but Zelsis calm under pressure, and Sen taking a step back in this now.
Absolutely dismantling this A site hold. And Crashy's caught completely off guard by John QT scaling up so quickly underneath him. And that's Alpha unable to tuck his tail and dip out of sight. A beautiful shot, follow up actually. John QT to find his third. Sen find a response here after 3 unanswered rounds. Do still have the pit. Still got a TP from Zeken as well. Now back on the res for Chronicle, so not many ultimates in play.
John's just got his though.
Yeah, make that an extra one. On command now for John QT. Fnatic have found this space once more in mid. Kayak in the same position, but this time able to play in the cut effectively.
Again, he was on that flank before. He was quick to it too, so this feels like it's likely, even though maybe Alpha trying to break the turret gives them sense of calm. There was nothing calm about that. That was quick as hell. Kayak takes away the hero of the previous. John QT down. That's also the ult removed. That's a big piece of the puzzle. They could play on site if they want to. It looks like they fancy a bit of that. Alpha's still there. Up towards Rafters. Not this time. Bang! Fast himself. Now trying to scale up cleanly. Alpha can deny the plant. And now problems for Sen. Got to put bodies behind this here.
Now actually, Fnatic can try and reinforce the hold here. Alpha under a ton of pressure, but he's not cleared.
They just set the paranoia and didn't clear it. That's not good enough, but still a 2v2. Spike in hand, and TP is out of there. Zeken wants safety. A secure plant is what he'll get.
Big gap though between him and his teammate. Zelsis now picking up the pace a little bit. Crashies and Boaster paranoid of a lurk. Sentinels able to regroup here.
Crashies has key utility. So much to play in here. Still paranoid about maybe closer players. Zekken waiting, swings it, spotted, TP's out, gets away. Boaster trying to creep forward, couldn't snap in time, and now down to Crashes in a 1v2. It's looking like SEN are back in charge.
Totally in sync there from Zelsis and Zekken. Safe plant comes through on the back of the TP. Zekken able to get the hell out of dodge. Beautiful adjustment here from Kayak, but gets Alpha maybe one more from this position. Makes it a little easier, but it's Chronicle falling there, standing to face Zekken. That opens this up. And Sentinels follow through, 6 on the board for them.
Placing swarm grenade.
Shutting them down.
Rifles except for the Bladestorm here on the side of Fnatic. No command and a pit here for Sentinels. There's only Boaster on guard here on B main.
They're trying to speed up, it looks like, with Fnatic clearing out deeper towards A so they can free up the rotations, but he is in a really precarious spot, Mike.
So with the ultimate here from Narrate to pave the way. Spam coming through from Boaster, but not finding anything. Actually, yeah, bang, sorry.
He took a lot of
That's
damage.
10 HP.
And Alpha's still really close by here. Considers the swing and oh, it's huge. Denies the plant and gets a body dropped. Flank now on the way. Sen need to really secure this. Almost turtle up for a second. Pause, trying to catch a player. Kayak, careful. He doesn't want to overdo this, but Sen now scrambling forward. Spike back in hand. A punish! What is that? Quan and Boaster both in unison. Just cashing the push-up. Punishing Sen, wanting that safety. Leaving Zelsis in a 1v4. Not a hope in hell. Fnatic nearly getting back on level footing.
Last round before the switch.
Boaster happy to stand his ground here initially. Again, a ton of information actually that it's not an early flood into B main. Again, it's the timing of some of these gunfights that Fnatic choose to take. Just catch Sentinels completely off guard. I mean, some of these kills coming through. A little PS, unfortunate for Sentinels, but so that chip damage really paying off.
Big ult still here for Fnatic too. Rez online for Quan. Alpha's got his and Crashies.
Fury.
That's 3 heavy hitters. On the other side, you have Bangs there. Didn't really get the chance in that last round to bring it in after being taken so low. Obviously, Narrate used his, as did John QT. So, scaling up as expected. This is something we've grown used to now from Sen. Oh, Boaster, careful. Always caught that timing, but from afar, that is gorgeous from Crashies. Good connection, couldn't quite find another, but big info and big damage.
2 tags here, Narrate down to 45, John QT down 70. Bang on a stinger now implies. Is he going to try and get up close and personal in his pit? Pause. It's a cut sound here from Sentinels, but Fnatic not moving. There's no threat elsewhere with Kayak posted up with the operator.
Yeah, he's got that nice deep line on the other side. He feels strong enough to sit for one. Here's that lockdown. They put them under a little bit more pressure to play out towards yellow. Get a bit closer here. Force their hand. And Boaster prepared for it. Zekken trying to make a bit of a play on the back, but no. Plant's going to come down nice from Narrate. Viper Spear layered in, but Alpha fast. He's closed the gap quick. Oh, what is that from Narrate? The hero set needed. John QT, just a shot in the back of Crashies. We noted how far away Kayak was. But what is that? What in God's name is that? But it may be for nothing. Kayak would have to be a hero, and it's not going to happen today. Zelsis keeps Sen in the lead on this half, 7-5, a competitive showing between the two. Exactly what we wanted in this map 3.
Old school.
5-7. Fnatic putting up a fight, but SEN staying in control. Now on the side switch here, do you have faith in SEN closing this now, or is there enough left in the tank?
I mean, it's a tall order. You always talk about Fnatic, never ever out, regardless of scoreline. I think here on Icebox as well, the same discussion to be made. Sentinels just edging out an advantage here in the first half. Certainly a concern. John QT standing tall and proud at the top of the board here for Sentinels. Maybe asking for a little more from players like Zekken and Bang, who numerically usually deliver. So flexing onto the OMEN for Zekken. I wouldn't say opportunities limited, but certainly seen other duelists really shine in that role, and whether that is a comfort factor or not.
For the Coinbase Econ report, of course, you can see there that Crash is leading by quite the margin, it looks like. So, bang for the buck.
Certainly is. See what the approach is here from Fnatic in the second half. Whether or not Kayak be able to continue to keep Fnatic in this. See safety in this composition as well. We're looking for clean plants, able to reset away. See on the back of the wall really from Chronicle here in the pistol round.
Here we go, right into it in the second half. We're in the final map between the two. SEN now on the defending side, of course. Fnatic having to pick it up on attack. Slow and, the methodical beginning. You have to get used to that tempo. We know that Fnatic play at their own pace. The knife going to find nothing after John QT's early contact.
And certainly in terms of pacing as well, there's not going to be any surprises in how Fnatic approach this composition.
Poison orb emitting.
But giving up A here, maybe toying with the idea of exploration towards mid, or some pressure coming through, but Boaster now.
Poison orb emitting.
This could be an issue.
Certainly could. I mean, happy to sit back and play towards a retake here. Deep investment of the wall, actually. Now Swarm's popped. We'll be able to get the plant here regardless.
Or 5v5 post-plant in pistols. God damn. Here we go. Double stacked up. Oh, sorry, triple stacked up. It's like, can't get away from my man. How dare you. Need to find some security here, though. I do want to see them stabilize for this post plant.
There's no flank coming through either, so this is all in from SEN.
Christ, look at that paranoia. If they were a little bit closer, it could have been lethal. But Fnatic still hold the numbers, and the smoke is wondrous to work in. Narrate can't quite find him, leaving just Zelsis outgunned here and outnumbered. Fnatic getting the first.
On the board here, and Boaster on his feet. Looking like they might tie things up here to kick off the second half. Again, looks like that's going to be the approach, or just the pistol round here. Sentinels. You can check that if you're an Fnatic to get this clean plant, reset back into deep post-plant positions. Really bang that can cut sightlines here with the wall. But plenty of tools for Fnatic to lean back on. Just narrate play side once more. Actually, yeah, maybe looking like a little bit of aggression towards B main, but utility down from Alpha, going to keep that in check.
Yeah, it certainly should do. He only has the Ghost. And actually, his util starts getting cleared, so he's feeling that there's someone nearby, but they're already rotating. But by now, look how close Fnatic are. And there's big guns out on display. Kron's got one, Kayak's got one, and so does Crashies. So they're the three that can't really afford to fall. And it's simplistic in approach, Mike. They're not making too much of it. Alpha going to catch Zelsis trying to hit that rotate round on the flank. And we're into 3 players remaining. For SEN, this wasn't a round you were expecting to win.
Certainly not. Well, they can do any damage, but with the smoke going up and really huddled outside heaven, don't expect them to be charging on here, maybe feeding into ultimates that make Fnatic's life even easier. Alpha's on the hunt though.
Hello. Oh,
The first and
how's he doing now?
falling now. Anti-Crash is following through here, but
You don't wanna lose that gun.
certainly don't want to lose the rifle now. If Boaster was up here, potentially with the Stinger, different story, but 4 survive, and Alpha just bringing a ghost in here, like I said, coming forward, finding a kill outside B main, and then falling.
Yeah, ticking the box.
Extra kill. Decent progress made.
We're all even, Michael. 7-7.
Big
So when it
buy
gets-
round here.
Yeah, and I want to talk about pressure between these two, because normally it is a bigger conversation, right? And yes, it is still a chat maybe with Kayak in that sort of list. Maybe at best. But these are experienced legacy teams, right? I know from the original iterations, it is only Boaster still standing. But these are the big boys, right? When you're talking about these two teams, none of them are slouches by any means. They should be able to keep their heads calm, keep themselves cool under this pressure. It's now tied all even. It is game on between both of them.
I don't think knife catching on anything here. Zekken posted up, clean on the first.
Very
dip
nice.
away, but and a 45 HP does have the regen. No res here from Chronicle. So we'll have to continue plow on as 4. Now Zekken setting up for the paranoia. Yes, slow work once more from Fnatic.
They've been testing Sentinels' patience the entire game, it feels like. Zelsis rewarded as well. Locked in towards punishing middle. Yeah, Alpha's slipped ahead, but there's still utility here. Yeah, maybe if they got Zelsis down, it'd be a different scenario. It's not the case. So what's the game plan? So scattered throughout this, Mike.
Is Alpha rewarded here? He's actually not dealt with the turret. He's waiting for maybe somebody to show. Now have a chance over the top of Boiler, potentially. Yeah, Boaster can lurk ahead here with the Poison Orb.
I
They
mean,
can
they
almost pinch
timed
onto B. But Zekken still finding
seconds
success.
You thought you had a better shot at it, but it is still Zekken stood there. Everyone else from Sen went over towards A pretty much. And Fnatic not getting any fair fights, it feels like, for them. They have to dig so deep for these players. Smart work. Alpha nice. But again,
10 seconds.
try and get any further would be surprising. Yeah, caught up in his own utility, really, making a mess of that. Budakron 1v4, perhaps? Not to be. Nice spacing from Sen. And the awareness here, Mike. I mean, it's not flashy Valorant at this point.
No.
But Sen know exactly how Fnatic are trying to play this.
Sure, certainly just trying to force the hand of Sentinels, force them into being decisive themselves, but Sentinels not biting on the bait. This mid piece really rough. I mean, if you don't find an engagement,
Let's go.
the other
Let's
side
go,
of it,
boys. Come on.
it's
Let's
tough
go,
to then
let's
just
go.
charge towards B because Zekken has so much space. There's nothing to kind of pick up the slack towards B main. Operator in the hands of Alpha, yeah.
I mean, we saw what he did on Chamber.
Yeah, yeah.
But we know that Boaster can op. Obviously, Kayak can op. Alpha, let's see if he's got it on the Killjoy here. Again, Rez is there for Kron. Narrate up towards 410 though. Willing to hold belt. The rest of the map, they're getting curious. Down B long, wanting info. Zels is still patrolling towards mid, but they're close on this A site now.
Kayak relaying information there with the sound cue, but probably unaware of Bang's position here. Actually, a little jump over the top there, surely spotted by Narrate. They do drift away. Yeah, very sweaty Valorant here.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting for a peak to punish, but able to actually push deep enough to get a wall up.
Can he swing? No, couldn't get a swing off that. I thought maybe with the Dizzy going up, they could have maybe caught someone, but still held towards backside. The plant's gonna come down, but they're so close here. Bang, considering the punish. But Kayak got his buddies back. That's a fumble, though.
Actually, yeah, luckily, no pressure coming through there because Kayak ain't that vulnerable.
Ooh, this is getting really tense, Mike. You can see it, you can feel it. Drifting closer, Paranoia goes in, but an early swing from Bang goes down. Effective trading from Fnatic. Trying to take back on the site. Sen can't stick the landing. Second falls. John QT forced to back away. Fnatic playing the better game of this. Scaling up well together, trading in well if they felt that presence. But this style, Fnatic happy to play with.
Bear in mind, Sentinels said they were expecting this, right? This is how they knew Fnatic were going to approach today. Fnatic seeming to find some success with it in the second half. This is so tense in some of these situations because you can see Sentinels almost just apprehensive of when to pull the trigger on some of this utility and get the ball rolling.
Enemy remaining.
Maybe some early round aggression to remove some of that comfort with so many bodies standing.
Just doing the staring. That's it now. He's evolved. But it's probably the reason for this timeout. Again,
absolutely is, yeah.
This tempo and pace, like, I mean, if you look at regionally, like Americas, there are teams that play to this sort, I don't want to say to this extent, but they do play a more methodical, slower game style, but they can then scale up. They do play like a bit of a more variety to it. You look at G2, who are kind of the, you know, very, I guess, meticulous in approach, a little bit more patient. And obviously Sen are well aware of how to play against it, but here against Fnatic, they're taking it to kind of extremes, right? Very slow,
really
very steady.
This is way slower than actually traditionally we see Fnatic play even, so you can see they're really dialing into that approach.
I mean, how many 5v5 post plants have we had at this point, right? No, it's every step is very hard fought for, very cautious. I mean, Alpha was up on towards pipes with that operator deep before even contact happened. That was, you know, it took so long to get there. So Sentinels maybe needed to check in, get their heads straight on here, as it has been 3 rounds to Fnatic's name against only the 1 response from Sen so far.
It's just not there for Sentinels either. It's going to be Narrate bringing the Sheriff to the party here. It's only really second with Bang sitting with anything notable in the bank behind this. Triple of the orb though. Getting the rate just 1 away. But maybe a little bit of aggression, as I said, but Alpha will find second. Strips away that Kayak, doubles down.
Oh, it's clean stuff here. That's what happens when you try and get aggressive against this sort of pacing. Kayak now caught though, denied by the Dizzy. Narrate trying to puff out the chest a bit, try and control that space. He's done very well.
And this is the sort of round that Fnatic are almost baiting Sentinels into playing.
That's the dream. Oh my god, Alpha! Bang took a step. He was like, maybe I can help out Narrate. Maybe not. And Alpha, combat operating up the line. Narrate tries to take a second target inside. Kayak looks a little easier.
Still swinging though.
Yeah.
Plant hasn't come through just yet. Kron does have the res, so look to maybe get Kayak back on his feet. Not necessarily needed here, as we can see on the minimap. Celsius and Narrate probably considering the save already. A 2v4. Certainly not comfortable. Would feel like a roll of the dice. Let's try and get this started.
This has to be a mentality reset as well for Sen, because Fnatic look locked into this. And they just tested out what it looks like if we go a bit aggressive.
Yeah, like I said, this is the sort of round that Fnatic are almost begging Sentinels.
Oh, come on. Yeah, have a
dangling a carrot
hey,
almost.
You want to take some map control? You want to get an early
Stop
pick?
us from sitting outside this site.
Please. I dare you. And well, they tried. And you saw how well that went. So Sentinels need other options. They need to go deep into the playbook, get a good grip on what's going on here. But it's hard. It gets riskier and riskier as the game goes on. Fnatic now up on 9. As the slow and steady march back into this series carries on here. And look at it again. So aware, so ready, and so quick though from Kayak.
My ultimate is ready.
It's frustrating as well, because these sorts of rounds, it becomes harder and harder to justify that aggression with the finances, the inventory, and really the bigger picture cost of that. Now with Fnatic knocking on the door of double digits here. Need I remind you, the decider and the elimination on the line for 2 big names here in Toronto.
They're trying to get a bit up in their face again. And if I don't say it feels obvious, but it feels like they're trying to then say, okay, Fnatic, okay, come on, re-clear, do the same sort of thing. We're ready this time. They've got 3 players here now, actively looking, playing on 410. Sorry, excuse me, just below, down by Maze here. John QT on that corner. Narrate.
On the filthiest angle in the map. Looking up towards Belt. Nobody's there, folk.
And the silence feels so oppressive, doesn't it? Because you've still got Alpha's ult here. If they want to invest it, they can. They can leave this late and punish this push-up, potentially. They don't like what they're feeling here. Something feels off.
Leave Alpha posted here and maybe consider a rotation. Or even just find contact elsewhere on the map.
But it's hard to have confidence even in the lack of contact because of how they're playing this.
Got to do something quick though, down to 30 seconds and
30 seconds left.
again, confirmation of 2 members of Fnatic still.
20 seconds.
Yeah, this is looking a little weird now. They've got to just run onto B site and plant.
Celsius, get ready! 10 seconds, and the spike is still down towards B long. And what? Fnatic, that is outrageous. You're getting away with this. Zek and John QT and Narrate nearly falling asleep during this round, surely. Good lord, how they meant to be this focused for so long. Zekken still trying to find a player here. But you've still got Alpha's ult if needed. Yeah, they clear close, but that deeper line, that operator still in play. Paranoia is there, Flash still there, but they got to get going. Hell, they had to have cleared yellow by now. It feels, look at Boast's position, almost offsetting Zekken's. And yeah, it absolutely has, because John QT felt safe and secure, but Zekken now outnumbered. And again, Fnatic controlling the tempo, controlling the time. And Sentinels can't be everywhere at once.
I mean, that just looks so uncomfortable. You come back just as Chronicle's making this cross in mid. It certainly doesn't feel like Fnatic are teed up to convert.
Last one down.
But then 2 kills found, and things crumble for Sentinels.
I'm getting a bit nervous now.
I'm very nervous,
half.
yeah.
Look at this half. Look at the timeline.
I mean, look at the purchases as well now, forcing back in on this. Nothing left in the bank.
And this is going to test Sentinels, their mental, over and over.
Like you said, it's almost like they're playing to force Sentinels to make these desperate decisions late round. Because they're just left guessing.
And Fnatic will be reveling in this, won't they? Loving it. Knowing that they've got that time always on their side, even though it felt so late. Now we look at what Sentinels can do to try and hold this back. Double stacked up towards that kind of top and lower side. Nice from Narrate. Takes away Kayak. Here we go.
You will not kill my
Again, that red has been in the back pocket for some time. Zek goes back in. Brings it back to the grave. And you're right. Where was the support in this?
It's almost leaning into the game plan here, this comp. You can allow somebody to take a hyper-aggressive peek, but that res has to be safe.
He's stalling out. Oh! You madman, Alpha! You should never be able to get away with it, and he does. Lockdown now on top, 35 seconds, but we've seen how late they run this. Hell, they could be going B for all we know.
30 seconds left.
Lockdown now going to secure the cross for the plant, and Alpha is feeling absolutely out of his mind in this round. Still dug in deep here. Kron watching that top side, forced away, angle better for Sen. Hard fought 4 steps here though, and Alpha getting left more and more on an island. He can't escape. Bang removes. A heartbeat found in the Sentinel side. But Crashies and Kron still standing. Smoke on the spike should draw the attention. They're playing it calm. Now the second attempt at the defuse. Composure from Kron. Oh, it's stunning. The reveal is perfect. This is outstanding from Fnatic. Zekken has to try master, and he can't! Another stride from Fnatic!
And now, just the mental of Sentinels has to be broken in tatters from how these rounds play out.
Look
with
at that.
Alpha doing things like that.
God, they played this so well. Good God.
Alpha up at 21-12. Having a standout performance here. Blade Storm here, Pit here, Hunter's Fury. The other side.
Watching him is like poetry in motion today. Lethal about it though. Feels like he can't miss, and Sentinels silenced in this matter. They've got to dig deep here. They're gonna need someone to ignite a spark.
Utility littered ahead of Alpha there. Both sort of coming through and probably plant the seed of a B site hit. It's Fnatic now heading that direction. Alpha finds another. John QT will fall. Just 3 left standing now for Sentinels.
I mean, Alpha feels like he can do no wrong, right? The game feels perfect to him. In his mind, it's playing out as he dreamed. Zellsis desperate to find impact, but the wall's already there. So the plant's going to come down, and Alpha goes hunting. They've been conditioned over and over. Sentinels, mental must be on the ropes at this point.
Placing swarm grenade.
How do they fight back in to try and deny 12? I don't know if you can.
No, I mean, it looks like as if
Oh,
right
God.
here, as he's doing the pit,
Yeah.
certainly going to force Sentinels into a position where they have to hold on to these weapons. They forced up once more.
They're
Second,
on the ropes.
nothing in the bank. John QT, 100 credits. Ultimates to play with, but Alpha's on the hunt.
He's having a worldy game, is Alpha. Oh, God! No one can stop him right now. Look at that smile. Look at this man. He's still going. Even Jake's up. Even Bosa stood behind him just watching this happen. Gets caught in the end, but that is just madness we are seeing here. Kron found narrate 2 at the very end, Mike. This might be a death rattle from Sentinels of a second half. Fnatic on the verge of sending them home. And a monstrous performance from Alpha.
But 24 and 13. A map where previously some of his greatest moments. And look at that timeline.
Good God.
Just one blip along the way.
He's still on the outlaw.
Who knows as well, because the purchase is so uncomfortable for Sentinels.
And the deeper knife might be giving away that they tried to play up to this fantastic. Dark gonna come in, this kayak ready though. Players nearby, they swing. Sentinels digging deep here. Desperate to hold on the spray, not gonna do enough. They get to live. First time they draw first blood without a quick trade.
Chronicle no res here either, so can't get kayak back on his feet. Alpha still on the hunt, scope in hand.
I'm terrified of him. So should Sen. For now, he carries on. The disrespect! No fear shown from Alpha this game. He's drawn 3 players just to deal with him.
Look at the respect he's commanding. In terms of util, in terms of pressure. Try and shut him down. Gets a heal as well, so back into a much healthier position now.
35 seconds though. And Sen have the man advantage. It feels like we've been saying this for the first time in a while.
30 seconds
You can
left.
see the Crash is trying to draw them away from this A side.
Sentinels know now not to bite.
Yeah, they're learning their lessons here. They've had to learn it the hard way, but 20 seconds, it could still go any which way.
Placing swarm grenade.
Alpha, the one to be stepping in here. Paranoia perfect. Fantastic work from Sentinels. Second and bang when they need them
10
most,
seconds
doing
left.
enough here. I don't think Kron and Crashies can do much now. A lifeline given. Second gets away as the clock ticks. Sentinels stay alive.
Trying to just prevent potentially the upgrades here,
Nice.
but Zellsis will come through.
Big
2 with the
work.
stinger. Up to 9 now. 3 left to find and walking the tightrope. In terms of the economy here, Kayak removed early on from this proactivity. Sentinels just showing grit and resilience here.
And bravery, Mike, to go for that play.
Nice kills, boys. That's fine, that's fine. Nice kills, boys. Let's go.
To be able to kind of keep themselves feeling in this after what's been a very hard half. You can see the scoreline yourselves. We go back through a 12-9. Sen. It always feels like there's something with this team that they can pull it back from the brink, but Fnatic right now are deadly. Alpha at a new high almost. And the weight of the world here, if it does go towards B, is on Zellsis' shoulders. the one man on this site. Yes, John QT could catch a cross, but this is a lot.
The finest of margins are able to slip through.
Oh my god.
Turret dealt with, but there's actually Boaster underneath Tube, so a little bit of misdirection here. Celsius, yeah, he's hook, line, and sinker, Lauren.
That might be enough. They've got the keys to the castle now. They've got the full site. They don't even know the level of success they've just found. This could be heartbreak for Sentinels, but they're going to give it everything they have. But the final boss of Alpha has just caught bang. Kayak, the Guardian on duty, takes away Zekken. As John QT and Narrate have to face the music, and it's playing to Alpha's song right now. Narrate digging deep, but it's not going to be enough.